Well, good evening, class. We're back on to complete the part 2 process of submitting your homework. You'll see that the screen before us is this web page that says sourceforge.net. What I did was I did a quick search on Google for Filezilla. It's a free download for an FTP application or software, and sourceforge.net is a trusted website in which you can go about downloading Filezilla from here. If you have some other FTP application that you are familiar with and that you prefer to use, that is absolutely fine. You're not required to using Filezilla. This just so happens to be a pretty easy one, and it's free to download. So when you stumble upon the download button, so we're going to click on this, and it will obviously download your computer. Please go through the installation process and install it on your computer from your downloads folder. When you are done, you will then be presented with a window somewhat similar to this. Okay. So what we have is my efforts of typing in this host. Now, I got this host information from going to www.3.jjc.edu. At the bottom of the page, there will be a link that says, at the very bottom that says View Server Uploading Instructions. So I'm going to click on this. It'll take me to the page that I was just at, which gives me some information about how to go about setting up my FTP client software. So here's the information regarding the actual IP address if we're off campus, which we are, doing this from home. I'm going to Control-C to copy it. Make sure that you don't have any extraneous or extra spaces at the end. That will not work well inside of Filezilla. And I do want to point out that because most of us are working with wireless routers from our home, there are some steps of information here to set up our configuration of Filezilla. So I'm going to basically open up this window here so that way you can see both of them at the same time. It says go to the Edit Network Configuration Wizard. So here's the Edit. Here's Network Configuration Wizard. Go to the Next button. It's going to state right here, make sure that you click on Active Mode. So I'm going to choose Active. You can allow fallback to other transfer modes and failures, still checked. Click Next. Then it says use the external IP address. So by default, that is use the server's external IP address. Then it says ask for, let's see, get an external IP address from the following URL. So we're going to go through that right here. Get external IP address from the following URL. Leave it as the default. So I'm going to make sure I change my radio button to this particular entry. I'm not going to uncheck anything. Click Next. It then states ask operating system for a port. So we're going to leave it as the default. Ask operating system for a port. Click Next. And then it's going to go through the test process, in which case you can choose test. Okay. So I'm currently connected and I got my successful command. It's showing right there. So my test is completed. I can now click on the cancel button. I know now that Filezilla has been properly installed on my computer and has gotten through my own personal router. So here's the IP address that I provided right here. I've already typed in my username and my password, and now I'm going to click on the Quick Connect. Establish a new connection. It will go through what it needs to do, and you'll see that I have a successful connection. Okay, here's the scrubber here. It's letting me know that my connection from a little earlier today has been aborted, and now I'm successfully connected. On the left-hand side of the screen, you will see this is your local site. The right-hand side is going to be the remote site. So what I'm going to do is locate on my local site where I've stored my files. So I'm going to click on my C drive, go to Windows. Why do I put stuff inside my documents? Where's that? Documents. Click on Documents. Here's my 224 folder. As you recall in class, I recommended that you create a folder called 224 or CIS 224, and inside there we're going to have 3 files that have been generated or published out of Flash for your index page. If you recall, your index page is the one where you created your name and then you create a hyperlink to each of the pages within your site. Okay, so here are my 3 files. Then I also have a chapter 1 folder. As I go on to chapter 2, I'm going to have a CH2 folder, and then CH3, etc. On the right hand side, I have nothing over here because I'm yet to upload anything. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these things. Using the shift key, I can select everything. Using the control key, I can select individual items. Right click, choose upload. Brief pause. Eventually will be uploaded to the remote site. It started to upload my balloons. I'm going to come over here, press my F5 button on the right hand side with the remote site, and now you can see my information, or my files are located over here on the right hand side. I'm going to go to my course sites. Okay, because I really don't exist. Oh, here we are. I do exist. Okay. So I'm going to click on View Website. It's going to go to my page, and there's where my Angela page is located. You can see my URL has been updated to our my personal website. Yours will be updated to your own personal website. And you'll notice at the end here, somehow it's pulling up or playing my index page, but I've yet to ever type in index.html. And again, like we talked about in class, you have to have this home page called index, and then you don't need to type in any kind of file name. Now when I hover over balloons, I'm going to click on it. If you recall, this is what my best effort of balloons look like in the quickest time possible. So it is looking for a balloons.html. If we were to view the page source on balloons.html, because Flash generated it for us, here's all the param information, and it basically is looking for a file called balloons.swf, and again, Flash generated for me that balloons.swf, and so therefore, when we uploaded all three of those files, this is the one that inside the chapter 1 folder, this is the one that it's showing, the balloons.swf, and it's showing it because balloons.html is looking for it. Now, the balloons.fla file is not necessarily needed to be uploaded to the web server. However, given that USB drives fail along the way, this is a great way to back up the files that you have. So I would encourage you to upload your FLA files to the web server. However, please understand that your browser will not show the FLA file. The only application that will use or show an FLA file is Flash itself. So that's basically the process of setting up our course with our index page as well as our other pages. As I go through and I'm in Flash and I create a new file called fish, when I have fish up and running, I'll have to go back in my index page, make sure that I've got my hyperlink set up properly. Refer back to the part 1 of this video if you don't know how to build the index page. Those steps are listed in the part 1 of the video. But nonetheless, it's ready for me to then publish my fish file. Now you'll notice that it's looking for a file called fish.html. Even though my text says go fish, the file itself must be called fish in order for my index page to work properly. Hopefully this made sense and is helpful to you in getting your homework uploaded to the web server. The second part of the whole process is to upload your FLA file to our learning management system called Canvas. You do not need to upload the HTML or the Swift files there, just the FLA. Have a great night. Take care.